Where the hell is our first episode? Seagate. I don't think it's in there. That's not it. Can't be. No way. I might need that. Fucking AOL. Follow the reader. IBM Tandy version, man. Could probably use that. More AOL Prodigy. AOL. Prodigy. AOL. Oh, Windows 3.1. Disk 4, Disk 2, Disk 3. Now Disk 1. Oh. There we go. Poorboys Tech. Welcome to Poorboys Tech. My name is Derek, and I'll be your host today. Basically, Poorboys Tech is a spin-off of the show Poor Boys, where I'm going to show you some tech stuff that you can do in your own spare time. Today I'm going to be showing you some media automation, or basically how to get your files you download, so your videos, your movies, your television shows, whatever you download, podcasts, videocasts, all that good stuff, how to get that on your home entertainment system. And basically how to do that, we're going to use an open source application called TorrentFlux, and we're going to be using Xbox Media Center through a modded Xbox as our front end. And to start that, I'm going to show you how to install TorrentFlux, how to set up a Samba share so you can access that share from your Linux box, or even on a Windows PC you can also do that, just doing regular Windows file sharing, and then how to access that over Xbox Media Center, and how to automate that with RSS torrents and other stuff like that. So I hope you guys will like it. Okay, so first off, we're going to go to the TorrentFlux site and download TorrentFlux. But before you do that, you're going to have a Linux machine in our case. So what I did is I just went out and I installed Gentoo. Now you can get Gentoo 2006.0, which is the newest release, and that also has a GUI installer. So if you've never installed Gentoo and want to give it a try on an extra machine, and you're not entirely sure how to do it and you're afraid of a command line interface, you can do it now. However, you should really read documentation before you embark on that kind of feat. Also, you can install Ubuntu, which is super simple, super easy to do. If you don't want the bloatedness of Ubuntu, you can install the server install and just grab the things you need for TorrentFlux. So we're going to head over to the site and we're going to download TorrentFlux. Now that we have TorrentFlux, we're going to need to install the backend, or what TorrentFlux will be running on. So we're going to need to install Apache, MySQL, and PHP. The easiest way to do this is just by using the LAMP package. You can just Google search LAMP, L-A-M-P, or L-A-M-P-P even, and that will give you that package. Basically, it's just all that Apache, PHP, MySQL all rolled into one. So once we have that installed and running and fully configured, also secure, that's the important part, is to secure your LAMP package. That's something you definitely need to do for this install to be secure and not vulnerable to attack. Alright, so now that we've got LAMP installed, we can now copy the files over to our HTML directory or to our htdocs directory for Apache. So what I did is I created a folder called TF, and in that folder you put in all of your TorrentFlux files. Very simple to do. It's in the install file inside the TorrentFlux directory after you untar it. So check that out. If you need any more information on how to untar, I'll put it in the show notes. That'll be at poorboys.tv. So now we've got all those files copied, and they're all given the correct modifications, the correct rights to be able to write and read those files, which has been cited in the install file. Now we're going to go ahead and make our downloads directory. So basically, you just make a directory, any directory on wherever you want it, and then you just need to go into the config file, the config.php in our TorrentFlux directory, and edit that so it points to your downloads directory. Now that we got our downloads directory, we're almost done. So we just need to go into phpMyAdmin, which is provided by our LAMP, and we just need to dump that data into this SQL database. And once that's done, then we just need to restart LAMP, and then you should be good to go. Okay, now that we have our TorrentFlux installation complete, we can go into the web interface and take a look and see what we have. So as you can see, once you get into the web interface, you have a login. That first login is just going to be a username and password, anyone you defined, and it will be the administrator password. So once you go into there, you can control all your torrents. Just upload the torrent file, or actually give the URL pointing to that torrent file to download it. One of the nice things also about TorrentFlux is that it has multiple users. As you can see on my setup, we have a user, Tom B, who is downloading Hack.5 episode 8. So it's very nice if you have roommates and you have a couple different people on your network that want to use the same bandwidth, and make sure you're not downloading duplicate files or wasting bandwidth. You can definitely have them log into this, take a look, and then download what they want, and you can all tell who's downloading what. So that's a nice thing. Also can be a disadvantage. Okay, so somebody downloading a little sketchy prawn, and that's yeah. But so now that it's set up, and now that you're pretty much introduced to the web interface, all you got to do is make a Samba share to your downloads folder, which I'll put in the show notes. I'm not going to describe it now because there's hundreds of different ways to do Samba shares, but I just created an open Samba share without any authentication, just for the ease of use. So once our Samba share is created, then we're just going to go down and go on the Xbox and take a look and see what we have. So right here we've got our modded Xbox. This is an example of a hardware modded Xbox. I've actually gone inside the Xbox and soldered in a mod chip. Now, the other type of Xbox modding is a soft mod. A soft mod is basically flashing the Xbox BIOS and allowing it to boot hacked XVDs. Now, that hacked Xbox executable is what we'll need to run Xbox Media Center. So you'll need a BIOS that's able to boot the hacked XVDs. So once you've got your Xbox modded and finished, you need to download Xbox Media Center. You can get that from your favorite torrent site, or also XBins on FNet. So once you've got Xbox Media Center and you've got it installed, we'll just boot up the Xbox Media Center, and then we'll watch the content that we've downloaded through TorrentFlux. So now we're booting the Xbox, trying to get comfortable. Going into Avalanche, which is my launcher. Launch Xbox Media Center. Then I'll navigate to my videos in my Samba share. Then I think I'm going to watch a little bit of what Tom B was downloading, Hack.5 episode 8. So now I can crack open my favorite beverage and sit back and relax while I watch Hack.5 on my home entertainment system.
You're watching Hack.5.
So there you have it. Poor Boys Tech episode 1 is complete. Now you have all the tools to go out and try this sort of setup by yourself. However, I did leave a couple things out. For one, TorrentFlux can be accessed over the web. This makes it easy to add torrents when you're not at home. So for instance, say you're at work and you want to download the newest Twit video. Just add that torrent over your TorrentFlux interface and begin the download. So by the time you get home, your download will be done and you can fire up Xbox Media Center and watch it. Also, this is certainly not the only way to do this sort of setup. You could also use Azurius with the web plugin that they have for it, which will allow you to control over the web much like TorrentFlux, and that will allow you to do it in a Windows environment. Just remember to share your downloads folder that all of those Azurius files are downloaded to. You can also use uTorrent to do much of the same thing, as well as using iTunes and just sharing the iTunes downloads folder. If you have any other ideas to use this sort of setup of getting your content on your home entertainment system, I would love to hear from you. You can just email me at derek@poorboys.tv. I'd also like to hear any other feedback that you have for the show. Now, normally, Poor Boys is not going to be like this. Poor Boys will be more or less my brother and I showing you how to live life cheaply. However, I'm on spring break and I felt like I wanted to just flex my tech muscle and try and produce a show that's all technology. So I hope you guys have liked it. If you have any other information that you'd like to give me, just visit poorboys.tv and drop me an email. So I hope you guys have liked what you've seen, and I hope to see you watching our later releases in the future. Thanks.